My name's Tim Knesick, and graduated from Texas A&M in 1987. Went to work for Farm Credit.
My name is Greg Hengst. I'm 34 years old, and I farm in Thorndale, Texas.
You know, it was kind of interesting. I didn't know anything about Farm Credit, but I said Farm Credit was built for me, or I was built for Farm Credit. I don't know which one. It really is a lot of fun when you can get a young person, and other financial institutions may not give them a chance. But we find a way to maybe take a little bit more risk on an individual like that and make them successful. I think back to one time when one of the young beginning small farmers that we got into the business had nothing when he started.
I went from starting out with around 300 acres.
And he farmed for a couple of years and he hit a really bad year.
In 2008, which was definitely was a bad year for us.
And it happened to be that year that Farm Credit takes some of their stockholders and they take them to Washington, D.C. to show them around and show them what Farm Credit does and let them talk and tell their Farm Credit story. And it happened to be that this young farmer was picked to go on that national tour. And he came in and he said, Tim, he said, my crop is short. He said, and the only thing that he had was he had 200 acres that he had bought in his name, and the value of that land had gone up. And he said, I tell you what I'll do. He said, if you tell me today to sell that 200 acres, I'll sell it and I'll pay you everything that I need to pay you right now. And I told him, I said, I want you to go to Washington, D.C. and I want you to tell your Farm Credit story in Washington, D.C. And when you come back, we'll figure out what we need to do with that shortage that you have in your crops.
So even though it was a bad year on the farm, we still got a very good opportunity to go and learn more about the Farm Credit system.
He went to Washington, D.C., had a great time.
It kind of gave us a little more hope that year, learning more about the Farm Credit system, seeing the trust they put in us, and seeing how they were backing us during tough times.
He came back, and through working with FSA and getting some emergency money and so forth, we were able to carry him. 2 years later, he came in and he said, I found 5 acres that's got 3 grain bins and a house that I think my wife and I would like to make a home and raise our kids in. And so we were able to help him with that. He paid back that emergency money, and all is well today.
They've put a lot of trust in me. And with a young farmer, I mean, that's needed. When you maybe don't have the financial position that somebody has that's been farming for 20 or 30 years, and that's with any business, you need that trust. That's one thing about farming. There's going to be good times and there's going to be bad times. Always has and always will be. So to have a system and to have people in that system that will work with you in those hard times is essential.
I don't know how many lenders, probably would have had the fortitude to stick with somebody in a hard time like that. But Farm Credit did. And that's the Farm Credit I work for.